Hey everybody, this is Jase from Marshall Made Collectibles, and today we are revealing a new product. For those that know me, know I'm well known for like the Captain Action restring kits, which I'm licensed through Captain Action Enterprises to put out restring kits for like Captain Action, Doctor Evil, Action Boy, or Kid Action, depending on if you're a plain Mantis fan or a Ideal fan. I also put out a restring kit for the 1979 Kenner Alien. For years, I've been asked if I would ever put out a restring kit for G.I. Joe, and honestly, through Marshall Made Collectibles, my little toy company that I run, I've been restringing G.I. Joes and Action Man and vintage, Adventure Team Joes for years. I never sold a restring kit per se because it's always been a problem with the thigh bars on a GI Joe. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, is GI Joes have always had this little bar in the thighs, and that's what the eyelet and the elastic would string through. It goes through the neck and then would pop through and get to the other side of the leg. Um, it's I've sold them to people, but the problem was people have real issue with popping these thigh bars out to stick the eyelet back through and then run the elastic and then having to bend out the rivet on the thigh to make sure that it fits properly. And as these figures get older, a lot of people will attest this plastic does get brittle and they'll develop stress cracks. In fact, you can see like this thigh right here. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera. Right there at the knee, it has a nice little crack starting to develop. And that's what will happen. These will start to split. So the best thing was to try to develop something that I could come up with a restring kit that would involve you not having to remove those rivets at all, just taking that completely out of the equation. And I came up with something that I think is going to make a lot of collectors happy, because a lot of Joe collectors have a body drawer, and I'm just knocking over stuff left and right. But it's something like this. This is small scale compared to what a lot of collectors have. They have drawers with nothing but body parts, um, and it's just GI Joes that they have that are a part that they need to fix. And a lot of times, the reason that they're not is because of those thigh bars, or they don't have a string kit, so they just save it like, oh, if I need a new hand or I need a new forearm, something like that, they work with. Well, hopefully this is going to bring a lot of Joes out of the parts drawer and put them back into action. My kits, I came up with a kit, and I call it let's see if I get it in focus, the Oh No Floppy Joe Restring Kit. And it's a kit that will work for G.I. Joe, Action Man, and the Real Heroes 12-inch action figures. And this is also going to work on a lot of your newer G.I. Joes that have come out through the club, or even like the Masterpiece anniversary figures, because even those, after a while, that flat elastic that they use will stretch out and it doesn't retain its shape. I use a 5 millimeter bungee. I heat sink the ends so you don't get the fraying or anything like that up into the body cavity. And it's just a better material. It's a higher quality material, and it will last. It'll last our lifetime. I don't think we'll have to worry about these figures falling apart for our grandchildren's children. So basically, what I would do, since I did this for my Captain Action kits, and I did it for the Alien restring kits too, is I figured I'd go ahead and show everybody how the restring kit works. So you really don't need much. If you want to clip out the old flanges that were attached to these, the little eyelets, all you need is like a pair of wire clippers, and you can go in there and clip each side and it will pop right out. I'm very big on restoration without alteration. So I try to set up my kits where they're just foolproof and easy to use. And the only thing that you really need to do any of my stuff is you need to make yourself or have something long that you can use as a pull through. Now this is just like a garden stake, that uses to keep that black mesh stuff down in your yard or your islands to keep weeds from coming through. It's just one of those. I bent a real fine loop on one end, and on the other end I put a nice little crimp where I can basically put my finger, or you put a couple fingers, and you can pull and it gives you some leverage. The only other thing that you really need is a nail, like a 16 penny nail, and that's just so as the elastic goes through, you can pin that through, and it gives you the opportunity to like put the head on or your arms through without having to try to rush and grab everything. My kits, when you get them, will include the the, the body string, and it will include the arm string. On all my kits too, I also will include a neck hook. I don't know if that's going to show up. It's awful small. We'll include a neck hook, but now if you have your original, just go ahead and use it. You can pop the one that I include in the kit off, and you can use your original hardware. Okay, so let's get to restringing these. I've got two figures in front of me. I got a Real Heroes here with a Real Heroes head. I got some generic Joe parts. Some of it's vintage Joe. I think the arms might be Cotswolds, and the head I know is Cotswolds. It's one of their resin heads that they do that includes the neck. But the rest is all Joe. So it basically is going to give you an idea what to do. So let's go ahead and start that now. What I like to do is I like to do the head and the legs part first, and I do the arms last. You can do it either way. It's completely up to you. Basically, you take your kit and you string it through the pelvis like that. Simple enough. And then you've got the thigh balls. I guess that's what you would call them. And you're going to push those through, if I can push it through. Might have to use my pull-through tool. Boop. So we're just going to do that and pull that elastic through. And I'm not going to pull it all the way. And there's a reason why. Boop. And that's almost all the way through. Go ahead and use my tool a little bit. Boom. And the reason why I'm not pulling it all the way through is I don't want these sliding up and down, and it's just going to make it a little easier to put my legs on and not have all the parts running. Okay, on the ends of my kits, you'll notice I have hooks, and they're stainless steel hooks, and all I did was loop that through, and it's on the thigh bar. See, now my leg is attached. Instead of having to go through the whole mess of pushing out that whole rivet system and everything like that. Oop, put that through. Alright, do my other one. I'm going to push that through, and it's now on the thigh bar too. Easy peasy. And I'm going to pull that, and you'll already see that the legs are in place. That's it. Now, it's just taking it through the torso. I'm going to pull that through this way, and I've got that there. This is a good time right now to get your nail ready. And I hope I'm in camera shot, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this through. I'm going to lay this. It's kind of hard to do that and talk at the same time, but I've got a big mouth, so maybe. Alright. I pulled, I don't know if you can see. Let's do it like this. Boom. Boom. Alright, what I did is I went ahead and pulled that elastic up through by grabbing onto the hook. When I had the elastic through the neck portion, I just went ahead and pushed the nail. And the reason being for doing that, it gives me the opportunity to have that head hook up. And these are not always, especially on the newer figures, I don't know why. The older ones were so much easier. Okay, so I've got the head through, and then I'm going to just pull that up and alleviate that pressure on the nail, and then I let it pop back down. And basically, we now have a restringed torso. The whole figure is done. And it's not floppy either. See, it's got holding its shape. Now for your arms, like on the newer ones have some really weird hooks. Now the Real Heroes are using the same kind of hardware that you'll find in like your 40th anniversary Joes and you'll see in your Masterpiece. The old ones had these nice little hooks like that, but these have that little crazy kind of quiggly, squiggly Q kind of thing. What I like to do these, because it's really hard if you've tried to do it any other way, is I like to take my elastic first and push that through. And it makes it nice and rigid. It's not going to fall through. That's another reason why I like using the 5mm bungee to make these. all the parts I use and that are metal or stainless steel, so you'll never have to worry about them rusting or falling apart. Then you just want to push that through. If I can do this, again, doing this stuff on camera is so tricky. Because it's either I'm going to come out looking like a real hero or a total zero. But there we go. We've got one arm through. Again, have our pull through tool. And again, I hope I'm in focus because the camera is so far away from me I cannot see the screen. Alright, now we're going to pull this arm through. Again, got nice and cinched up while I'm getting ready to pull, and I'm going to put them on his side. I'm going to pull that through, push my nail through, and now it's locked into place. We're going to take this other arm and see if I like to push that up on the metal. And this is just on the newer ones that you'll have this issue. You're not going to have it with the older hooks. Again, it's that curly Q design that's on these newer ones. Alright, I've got that loop through. So again, we're going to pull, slide out our nail, and boom. He is completely restrung. Arms are tight. Not floppy. Body's not floppy. Now he's completely done. Looks amazing. We're going to go ahead and do our kind of bashed, I guess, Joe parts, Cotswold parts, Cotswold resin head, whole 9 yards. And I was going to do it with the original hardware, but I decided I'm going to go ahead and use one of mine. Just to show you what you get in the kit, and it's going to be this hook, or a hook of like this, or that type. So first thing we're going to do is, like before with the real heroes, I'm going to put my kit through the pelvis, and then we're going to push it through the thigh balls. Sounds so stupid, thigh balls. You got to get it through the thigh ball. I'm sorry. I'm a little overtired. Alright, we're going to take our legs, and you're going to lock one on through the thigh bars, and then you're going to rest your thigh balls against your thigh bars. Alright, and I really hope I'm in camera. Alright, there we go. So we have our pelvis and our legs. Nice and dangly. Going to take our pull through tool. We got it on our hook. Get your nail ready. Boom, boom, boom. Just get all this over. And we are going to pull through. And as we come through, we are going to slide our nail and release. Now watch your fingers on that. I don't want nobody getting hurt. But then you just take your head, loop it around, pull your nail out. Again, doing that one-handed. Oop, there we go. And then let your neck fall into place. And now you have basically the gist of your figure done. Again, we're not floppy, we're not loose. And we're going to do our arms, and like I said, we just got some Cotswold arms. Take our elastic, and we're using the original hardware, and just we're going to do like what we did with the real heroes. We're just going to pop that through first. Hook on one arm. Use our pull through tool. Lock on the other side. Start pulling that through. Basically, got him on his side. Oops. Pull that up. Grab your nail. push it through the elastic loop. Grab your hook. Grab your other arm. Lock it in place on the, and then pop that through, and now your arms are through and they're tight. So basically what we just did is we went ahead and did 2 figures in no time at all using my Oh No Floppy Joe kit. And you can get these through me, through Marshall Made Collectibles. We'll have them over on the eBay store for $15 a piece, and occasionally I run sales, so that'd be a good time to get them. Or you can contact me through Facebook. So, again, thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.